it that badly, did she? Because a gym membership and a bit of discipline wouldn't have cost her 2,500 quid and it wouldn't have given her sepsis. I'm sorry, but I've got no time for this. I've got no time for the soft-ass people in the comment sections acting like this wasn't her fault. I know it's harsh, but it's true. I know it's tragic that a 20-year-old woman has lost her life. That is tragic in any circumstance. But why is it not registering in people's minds that this was her fault? You know, in that clip I showed you there, she said, oh, this is something that she'd always wanted. Later on in the video, the bit that I didn't show you, her mum was saying that she'd always battled with her weight. Well, you haven't wanted it that bad and you haven't battled that hard because you...
Obviously, I'm not going to stitch Chris because I don't really want to push traffic his way. He makes his money by doing what I think is fairly obviously rage baiting, but he also suffers from a complete and utter lack of empathy. There are a lot of these chaps online. It's not entirely men, there are women too, but there are a lot of them, and it does tend towards the male, and they lack something called empathy, and you can look it up and see that they do. And there is a lot of stuff online. If in your life you have somebody like this, they can be really difficult and they can be soul destroying, really hard. So look it up online, see what you do. Bear in mind that a lot of them can't help it. There are various reasons that people can be like that, posited, influence in childhood, all the rest, all the usual subjects for people who have this slight weirdness of the head. Not their fault, because I don't think anybody, if in advance of our birth people were asked to choose, I don't think anybody would choose to be like that, but because they are like that, they can't see that the way that they are is a problem. It's a problem for them. It is a problem for them. So far, he's been lucky. Sometimes, of course, people who do have this complete and utter lack of empathy are completely sideswiped when things do happen that they have no control over. And it is more difficult for them than it is for people who are quite empathetic. It is very difficult for somebody who's completely lacking any kind of empathy then to understand why random strikes of the universe render them completely unable to carry on the way that they were. And again, there are examples of people online to whom this has happened, and they get quite nasty and quite angry, and you can't help but feel rather sorry for them. So, feel a shred of pity. It's a thing.